Hello everyone. In this lecture we will discuss about device controllers. Okay. Device controllers are nothing but it acts as an interface to the device, drivers and operating systems. Okay, we will see with an example. This is for your theory part. At the end we'll come back to the theory part again. So here if you see, say we have few devices. What are those? Monitor, keyboard, USB drive, disk drive, memory. Like that we have few devices. Okay. So let us say that, see, you have a pen drive. Okay. You have a pen drive and that is called a device. Okay. That device, if you want to plug into the system, then what will you do? You will plug it into the system. Soon after plugging in, what happens, that device have to be synchronized with the operating system. Okay, that has to plugged into the operating system, so then only operating system will able to perform anything or will able to handle that device, whatever the device you are plugged into the system. Without the operating system, it cannot handle the device which you have connected. So whenever you connect any device to the system, that has to be controlled by or that has to be handled by operating system. So I think many of you people have observed that whenever you keep a device to the system, if device driver software is not installed in the system, then it will tell you that at the right side down it will show you that device drivers are installing and drivers are successfully installed. Like that it will be telling. Means if device drivers or device controller is not there, then your device will not plugged into the operating system. If it is not plugged into the operating system, what happens? Operating system cannot handle the device which you are connected. So all these controllers will be there to each and every device. Okay, you cannot say that one monitor is there and one controller is enough for communication. So all no need of all these controllers, only one controller is enough. You cannot say like that. For every device a separate controller has to be there. These controllers are nothing but device controllers to handle this device and to make a way to communicate with the operating system or CPU. There should be an interface that is called controller, device controller, and these all controllers will be having a communication with the CPU or operating system through bus. Okay, this is nothing but device controllers. We will see the theory part again. I will explain you point by point. Device drivers are the software modules that can be plugged into the operating system to handle a particular device. Operating system takes help from the drivers to handle all IO devices. So every device have to be, if you wanted to use that device, it has to be plugged into the operating system. You people will be thinking that you just plugged into the system, but actually after plugging into the system there should be something which helps in plugging it to the operating system. Okay, the device controller works like an interface between a device and a device driver. Yes, it acts as an interface because device, your pen drive and operating system, these both should have a communication. Then in the middle someone has to be there to communicate with the both sides, and that communicator is nothing but device controller. Okay, IO units can be of anything like keyboard, mouse, printer, pen drive, hard disk or anything. Okay, all this typically consists of a mechanical component and an electrical component, where electrical component is called as a device controller. So device means what? That is a mechanical component, because that is a physical component that is made up of some steel or that is made up of some plastic, or that is total comes under mechanical component. Okay, in the mechanical component some electrical component should be there which helps to read, write or to communicate with the operating system. Okay, that electronic component is nothing but device controller. Okay, There is always a device controller and a device driver for each device to communicate with the operating system. For every device, there should be a separate device controller. Okay, you cannot say that one controller will be using for all the devices. Okay, separate controller will be there, should be there to all the devices. A device controller may be able to handle multiple devices. Yes, you can easily put up any number of devices, and any number of devices can be managed. As an interface, its main task is to convert serial bit stream to block of bytes and perform error corrections as necessary. If even after plugging it, it will be having some task. One of the main tasks is to convert serial bit stream to block of bytes. Means what is the goal of you after plugging the pen drive into the system? There should be some transformation. There should be some transfers from your pen drive or hard disk to the system. So that is nothing but converting. Any device connected to the computer is connected by a plug or a socket, and the socket is connected to the device controller. Yes, and anything, if you want to connect anything to the mechanical component, if you want to connect any electrical component, then there should be a socket, plug or anything. Okay, so this is about device controllers. Okay, these device controllers will help in communicating with the operating system. How the communication will go on actually? Okay, we have seen that device controllers helps in communicate, helps as a interface, acts as an interface between operating system and device. So how communication will go on actually, that will be seen in this. The CPU must have a way to pass information to and from an IO device. So this communication will be performed with these three approaches. Okay, the first one is special instruction IO, and the second one is memory mapped IO, and the third one is direct memory access. Okay, so in this lecture we will see about first two, that is special instruction IO and memory mapped IO. Okay, so in special instruction IO, what happens means it uses CPU instructions that are specifically made for controlling IO devices. These instructions typically allow data to be sent to an IO device or to read from the IO devices. This special instruction IO helps in taking the input and giving the output. Means from reading and writing, or reading the data or moving the data. This special instruction is only used for controlling read operations and send operations. Okay, data, either data is sent or data is received. Received means reading of data, sending means sending of the data. Only these things will be performed in special instruction IO devices. Okay, and the second one is memory mapped IO. In memory mapped IO, what happens? The same address space is shared by the memory and IO devices. So whenever you wanted to communicate, if a device is plugged into the system, then what happens? You need some memory. So let us say that your pen drive is there and you wanted to transfer one file from pen drive to the system. So if you want to transfer, then what happens? You need some memory in the system. Who will allocate memory to you? Operating system, with the help of CPU scheduler. Okay, so what is happening here? Directly your device cannot access the memory here. You have to take the permission of the operating system, CPU. See here, with I will explain you with example. This is our IO device. This can be of anything like pen drive, hard disk or anything. Okay, this is the memory and this is the CPU. So if device is connected to the system, then it needs a memory, because it has to transfer the data, so it needs some memory. So in order to take the memory directly, it will not take. What it will do? It has to take the permission of the CPU, because CPU is the one which will allow or which will give this memory to the IO devices. So every time IO devices, in order to get the memory, they will first take the permission of the CPU, and then only memory is allocated to the IO devices. So it is of two cycles. IO devices, for IO devices, if they want memory, they need to take the permission of CPU. If a permission is granted, then CPU will allocate the memory to the IO devices. So it is of some 2 to 3 cycles. Okay, one cycle is requesting to the CPU for the memory, and another cycle is granting the permission to the IO devices. This will be happening in the memory mapped IO. Okay, so here what is written, the device is connected directly to the certain main memory location so that IO device can transfer block of data to or from memory without going through the CPU. Okay, what is it also can communicate directly. Okay, so IO devices will take the memory and then it has to inform to the CPU, and then CPU will be giving the commands that file is given or acknowledgement like that. Okay, so first it will access the data memory and that information is passed to the CPU, and then CPU will be giving the confirmation to the input output device about the address locations. Okay, so here the advantage of this is that every instruction which can access memory can be used to manipulate an IO device, and memory mapped IO is used for most high speed IO devices like disk communication interface. Okay, this is one of the advantage, that every instruction can be used to manipulate the IO device. So IO device plays a major role here, and all the instructions will be mapped and these will be used at high speed data transformation. Like high speed data transfers will be seen in disks. Okay, some communication interface which will transfer the data very fastly. In that case, memory mapped IO is used. Okay, the third one is there, that is DMA. We will discuss that in our next lectures.